Hi everyone, Donna here. I am the owner here at Bookkeeping Made Simple. We are, lots of good things are going on in our business, which is really awesome. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about identity theft. It's always a concern. It's always something that we want to be alert to. And there are so many bizarre scams. I mean, they're so bizarre to me. And what makes it worse is it's so easy to fall for them. I read our local police department's blotter they put in on Facebook that basically they say these are the kind of calls we went out on. We went out and the ones that just kind of hurt my heart are the ones where they say we went to go talk to an elderly person or someone who claims to have been contacted by the Social Security Administration or the Internal Revenue Service, and they were told to purchase gift cards or the grandparent scam where allegedly a grandchild calls their grandparent saying, "I'm in jail, I'm so embarrassed, would you please bail me out, send gift cards or send money to this address." Basically, it's a total scam. I am ornery enough that I would call my grandchildren first. I would be double checking. I would be reviewing everything. I'm just that way. I work really hard for my money, and I know you do too. So I'm not giving it away to someone who just comes up with a cool way to make me feel bad. Let's see, we've got the Dirty Dozen. Let's cover the Dirty Dozen, shall we? I can make this big because I do not have good reading vision. The IRS has a list of what their Dirty Dozen on identity theft is. By the way, this is important. The Social Security Administration will never call you, ever. The IRS will never call you, ever. They will send you letters, and they will send you more letters, and those letters will get more threatening if you don't call them, but you have to call them, okay? They will never call you, and they will never try to say that you owe money for 2020 in February of 2021. I have gotten those calls, and I've just been like, really? Tax season barely started. Really? What's your badge number? How can I get a hold of you? Who's your supervisor? They usually hang up at that point. So they call me, and I'm a tax preparer. I work with the IRS. I deal with them a great deal. I know how things work. They call me, and the first thing I go is, "And what was your name again? Which office are you out of?" Because I'm gonna, basically, I'm gonna call the IRS and have them check your name. But the IRS never, ever calls taxpayers, ever, ever. What they do, if you owe them money, if you are behind on your taxes, they send letters, and they do increase in threat, so to speak. They really start off with, you have forgotten to file, or something, basically, this is the problem, please do this to resolve it. And it goes kind of, if you don't respond, especially if you owe them money, it escalates from there. Now, like I said, they will never call you. However, if you don't answer them, they will show up. You don't want it to get to that point. We actually have a friend who was in enforcement for the Internal Revenue Service, and we know someone who was the lead prosecutor for the IRS, and I can tell you, you don't want to run into those people. They're very sweet. You don't want to run into them because of failure to communicate. And that's really the key, by the way, is failure to communicate. Generally speaking, the problem with the IRS is never that you reached out. It is that you failed to respond. You just, you tried to ignore the elephant in the room. That elephant is not going anywhere. And I have found many, many times people will freak out and they will think that yeah, I'm going to owe, hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes, and I will run it and say, you don't owe that much. Or better yet, I will say, I was able to find these other deductions or find these refundable credits. You actually are getting money back. That's really what I like to say. So don't freak out if you think that you owe money to the IRS. There's a couple of things to do. One is to file immediately and set up a payment plan of some kind. The second thing to do is to start planning 2021 taxes. What is your tax bill going to be for 2021? You need to start thinking about that now. You do not want to be in April 2022 freaking out because you owe taxes because you did no preparation, you did no planning, you did nothing. So let's see if I can find the dirty dozen here. There's really a lot of it because people are scared of the IRS, and so when you call and say you're from them, they will people tend to get really scared. So there's really nothing to be afraid of with the IRS unless you are foolish enough to think that they won't find you, that you can evade taxes. You never want to evade taxes. You can avoid paying taxes, and you can use the tax code and case law to do that, but you cannot evade paying taxes, and it's two different things. And I talk about that a lot. So here are the signs you should be watching out for. If you get a letter from the IRS inquiring about a tax return you did not file, if you can't e-file your tax return because of a duplicate Social Security number. Now, I struggle with e-filing my returns all the time. I really need to sit down with my ex-husband and discuss some things with him because he e-files early, and we will have a duplicate on our son because we share refundable credits on him. But if you're filing your return and it comes back and says, your Social Security number is a duplicate, we need to talk to the IRS. If you get a tax transcript you didn't request, if you get an IRS notice that an online account has been created in your name and you didn't create it, if you get an IRS notice that your online account that you did create has been accessed and you didn't access it, if you get an IRS notice that you owe additional tax, or if there's a refund offset, or that you have had collection actions taken against you for a year you did not file a tax return, get the IRS involved. And if the IRS says you received wages or other income from an employer you did not work for. So those are kind of the things to watch out for. This is usually, and again, if you received a phone call from the IRS, I can promise you anytime someone calls and says, go to Target and buy gift cards and send them to us, it's a scam. The government doesn't take payment in gift cards. Kind of think it through. But these are also things that will alert you that someone is using your Social Security number. So that's also why you want to check your credit report frequently. And it's also why I don't answer phone calls from people I don't know. I keep a very close eye on my credit report. I know the loans that I have out. I know what's going on in my financial life. And so if I get something on there that is weird, I can identify it very quickly. So we don't ever want you to be subject to identity theft, and a lot of it occurs because people are not paying attention to their financial lives. So if you have any questions about embezzlement, which is just someone taking funds from you without your permission, whether it is your your in-house bookkeeper who has access to your signature, or if it's if you're in the middle of a divorce, that's a good time to, if you're getting divorced, it's a good time to get us involved. I am actually an expert witness for the court. So at least here in Utah, I am. So it's a really good time to get involved anytime there's any sort of major life change. And it's always a good time if you have a business, if you're starting a business, if you're growing a business, if you're closing a business. Those are all really good times to get your bookkeeper involved, preferably before you get to closing the business. That is pretty much it. Keep an eye out. Let me know if there's anything else that you're interested in about identity theft, and I would be happy to do another video on it. Thanks very much for watching, and I am looking forward to talking to you again soon.